Medicine keeps going high-tech with more virtual services coming to the Black Hills. The children who died at the Rapid City Indian boarding school are remembered today. And today is Indigenous Peoples Day. We'll see how it's being commemorated here. Your news starts now.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Jack Cottle. Almost 10% of people in South Dakota are indigenous, with only 2 other states in the U.S. with a higher percentage. And that's what makes Indigenous Peoples Day here in the Black Hills so special. Our Zeta Jones attended the celebration in downtown Rapid City and has the story.
South Dakota has recognized Native Americans Day or Indigenous Peoples Day on the second Monday in October since 1990. This year's celebration, hosted by NDN Collective, started with a march from Memorial Park to Main Street Square, where food and art vendors were waiting, along with free concerts. But behind the celebration are 2 main things: remembrance and awareness.
Remembering who we are, where we come from, and the history of this continent and our people, while at the same time it gives us an opportunity to talk about the ongoing issues that impact Indigenous people.
One of those ongoing issues Garriott references is in regards to land.
The United States signed constitutional treaties, signed treaties with Native nations. Unfortunately, however, those treaties, every single Indian treaty has been broken. And what we're talking about when we talk about native land return is the return of those federal lands that are owed to us by the Constitution.
Land Back also references the opposition to what they call the ruining of sacred native sites, such as Peshla, where there's a proposed graphite drilling project by the Rapid City-based mining company Pete Lean & Sons.
We want to be able to pray. We want to be able to worship our Creator, and we would never desecrate someone's church, yet we see people trying to desecrate our church.
For more information on NDN Collective or the ongoing issues Indigenous people face daily, go to our website at kotatv.com. Reporting in Rapid City, Zeta Jones, KOTA Territory News.
And the event is still going on down at Main Street Square, and there is still plenty on tap there for tonight. That is where Juliana Alfred is standing by live. Juliana?
That's right, Jack. I'm downtown on Main Street Square for Indigenous Peoples Day. The festivities started at noon and will go until 9 p.m. You can find art vendors, music, and of course, some of the artists performing is the Barehead Sisters, Santi Witt, and Macklemore. The concert is free to attend tonight, and as you can kind of see behind me, there's a big turnout for kind of the cooler temperatures happening here, which is no surprise because the Black Hills Powwow hit record-breaking numbers with 1,800 dancers that attended this weekend. And so if you didn't get the chance to make it, you can still come to this event. Again, it runs until 9 p.m. All right, Jack, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Juliana. Well, it's feeling like fall today with some breezy conditions around KOTA Territory. When will the wind calm down? Well, Chief Meteorologist David Stradling has the answer. So what is the answer?
The answer is it's going to be late tomorrow. About this time tomorrow, we'll start to notice those winds slowing down for us, but they're going to stick around tonight and into much of the morning and middle of the day for Tuesday. Here's what we're looking at outside right now, our Golden West weather camera at Granite Automotive. You can kind of see on the right side of the screen the flag there pushing to the north. We have kind of southeasterly winds moving through KOTA Territory, and it is a bit breezy. These winds are going to continue to increase. You'll notice a lot of spots anywhere from 10 up to 25 miles per hour, with gusts even higher. 40s and 50s are the dominant temperatures on the map. We do have 60 still towards Gillette, but there will be some showers moving in that you'll notice between Casper, Cheyenne, and up towards northwest Colorado. We'll watch showers move in tonight and throughout the day tomorrow, so it will stay breezy with a low of 42, and tomorrow we're up to 62. We have some morning showers that'll clear out. Well, more details on the wind and some more shower chances coming up.
Thank you, David. To protect, honor, and remember those who suffered and died during an often overlooked period in American history. Today, as part of Indigenous Peoples Day, a crowd gathered in Rapid City Sioux Park and marched to the Remembering the Children Memorial site on the west side of town. Our Brian Savage has more on the importance of honoring the Indigenous youth who lost their lives during the Indian boarding school era.
The Indian boarding school era, a dark chapter in American history, continues to leave a trail of trauma for Indigenous people and youth to this day.
All of us suffer from generational trauma because of the boarding school, so I think it's good for all of us to be here.
Monday, Rapid City-based nonprofit Remembering the Children were joined by NDN Collective and others in the community at Sioux Park to honor the nearly 1,000 children believed to have lost their lives during the boarding school era, with thousands more who may still be unaccounted for.
This is one of the things that we do every single year to make sure that their names are spoken out loud and carried through this community and acknowledged, because this story and their names are forgotten for so long.
According to the Indigenous Foundation, several thousand Indigenous children were housed in boarding schools throughout the U.S., including in Rapid City. From 1860 until 1978, students were subjected to sexual, physical, cultural, and other forms of abuse. Sazu says as part of a Remembering the Children research project, the nonprofit discovered 4 more names of children that had been unaccounted for.
It breaks your heart. It hurts your stomach.
During the gathering in Sioux Park, signs with the names of the children who died during the boarding school era were handed out to people in the crowd.
It's important for us to learn these things because they're not taught in schools, and I went to schools both on and off the res, and it's surprising because in both you're not taught these things.
The crowd would leave Sioux Park and march their way down the west side of town, finishing off at the Remembering the Children memorial site. The site honors the children who lived and died at the Rapid City Indian School that was around from 1898 to 1933.
In today's world, these are criminal charges. We need to remind people that, justice has not been done for us.
Sazu says it was good to see Native and non-Native groups come together, including both the Rapid City Youth City Council and Secongua Youth Council.
That's where the healing is at. The healing is in the relationships with each other, rebuilding our healthy families, rebuilding healthy relationships with each other.
To go along with the memorial site, Sazu wants to bring a healing center to town one day. In Rapid City, Brian Savage, KOTA Territory News.
A 58-year-old Rapid City man was killed this morning in a single vehicle crash 9 miles east of Rapid City. The South Dakota Highway Patrol says he was driving his Chevy Silverado north on Bradsky Road just after 9 when he left the road, went into the ditch and hit a stack of hay bales. He died at the hospital. Sanford Health is changing the way their patients are being treated with the expansion of their virtual care services. 27 Good Samaritan nursing and assisted living locations in South Dakota, including Good Samaritan Society at St. Martin Village, will now use My Care Line with the new virtual service. Good Samaritan caregivers can connect with Sanford Health registered nurses and advanced practice providers virtually after hours. The care can also be provided through phone or video visits in the resident's room. For video visits, Tydo Care devices, which are equipped with an otoscope, stethoscope, and exam camera, will be used, allowing physicians to care for the resident.
Anything that we can do to keep the residents in-house and not put them through the trauma of getting on an ambulance and going out, that really increases their quality of life, along with everybody who else would be called at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So thanks too.
In the month St. Martin Village has used My Care Line, no residents have had to be transferred to the hospital for falls since they could be assessed from the comfort of their room. Hickson added it is extremely beneficial for rural communities to have My Care Line, as it's more difficult to get to a provider. Well, we don't know the date yet, but we do know the B-21 bomber is coming to Ellsworth Air Force Base. What can be done to make sure Rapid City's schools are ready when the time comes? Local state legislator weighs in when KOTA Territory News at 5:30 returns. Several thousand people are expected to move to the Rapid City area for the incoming B-21 program at Ellsworth Air Force Base. State Representative Nicole Uri-Balk says she's eyeing potential action to ensure Rapid City schools are prepared for the influx of students. Blake Trolley has more.
The B-21 program is expected to bring more than 3,500 people to the area between military personnel, families, and civilian workers. In anticipation for the influx of students, Governor Roden signed off on a $15 million interest-free loan to support the construction of an additional elementary school for the Douglas School District. And while Representative Nicole Uri-Balk says she was excited to support the loan, she anticipates the Rapid City Area School District will also get an influx of students.
They'll live in Rapid, they go to school in at RCAS. And so to just say that, Douglas is very, very important. So I'm glad that happened. And how can we?
Are you saying there might need to be some action taken to make sure that the Rapid City area schools are ready for the same influx? Not the same, but for an influx of students that are going to come in with these B-21s.
Yep. Yeah. And we want to support the base and believe strongly in that mission. And so just want to make sure that the entire area that's supporting the base is set up for success.
As for what the action might look like, Yuri Balk says she's still in the planning phase and that legislation could be on the way next session. Now on to the future of the B-21s themselves. Last week, despite a shutdown, senators passed their version of a military spending plan. The House passed a version of the plan last month. Both plans dedicate more than $3.4 billion for the procurement of the B-21s and $378 million for projects at Ellsworth to support the arrival of the aircraft. Lawmakers from both chambers will now work on a final bill. Back to you.
Chief Meteorologist David Stradling is tracking midweek moisture. The details are in your accurate First Alert forecast next.
Now, the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist David Stradling.
It's been a nice day. Today feels very much like fall as temperatures were ranging from the 50s and 60s earlier. We're now down into the 40s and 50s. We look outside. This is looking kind of southwest from our Golden West Tower camera. A lot of clouds are starting to stream in, and that's going to bring in a few shower chances through the evening hours. Temperatures are in the 50s right now for much of KOTA territory. We do notice 40s from Custer towards Ekalaka, Alzada, into Buffalo. 40 on the dot over towards Sheridan. The National Weather Service in Billings mentioned that US 14 west of Dayton is actually reporting freezing drizzle. So if you need to go up into the Bighorns, use extreme caution or just stay home for the night, because that doesn't sound like fun. I've been up that road a few times. Wouldn't want to drive that in freezing drizzle. 52 for Spearfish, 48 in Nemo, 51 for Piedmont, downtown Rapid City, 52. Winds are out of the southeast for the most part in KOTA territory. Out of the north for Sheridan at about 6 miles per hour. But we are noticing sustained winds above 20 miles per hour towards the Newcastle area and out towards the Rapid City Airport. Winds will continue to stay breezy as we go throughout the night. And here's what we're looking at for future wind gusts. We'll keep those up to about 40 miles per hour at times overnight tonight for parts of northeast Wyoming and western South Dakota. Those winds will continue into Tuesday morning, but slowly start to weaken as we make our way into Tuesday afternoon and into the evening hours. First Alert Doppler radar is showing that cloud cover moving in, bringing a few of those showers towards Weston County. You'll notice a little bit of the shower activity from Colorado into southern Wyoming right now. That'll lift northeast throughout the rest of the evening, overnight, and into the morning hours tomorrow. So we may have a couple of isolated showers throughout the night. Into the morning hours, plenty of clouds, a few showers possible. But by midday into the afternoon, we'll really notice that cloud cover give way. But if you live out on the South Dakota plains, there may be some low clouds that stick around. Now, these will slowly start to return westward as we go throughout Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning. So low clouds, patchy fog, areas of drizzle, and even a couple of pockets of showers are going to be expected throughout the morning and much of the day on Wednesday. A few areas of moderate to heavier rain will be passing through into the morning, middle of the day, and then again during the evening and overnight, we'll watch some showers passing through KOTA territory. Low clouds, rain, that'll stick around going into Thursday too. Now there's a small chance a couple of those storms Wednesday afternoon and evening could be on the stronger side. I'm not completely sold on that though. Why? Well, if it's going to stay cloudy, we're not going to get that energy we need to destabilize the atmosphere. That'll be something we need to keep an eye on. Temperatures will be near to below average going into next weekend and that following week, bringing above normal moisture chances to KOTA territory. So we'll be keeping an eye on another round of rain moving in sometime middle to late next week. Tonight, though, we're in the 30s and 40s. Isolated showers, quite breezy at times. We'll keep the winds around tomorrow. Highs ranging from the 50s to the 60s. Morning clouds will give way to sunshine throughout the afternoon hours, 62 over towards Gillette. The next 3 days in northeast Wyoming will stay pretty nice until Thursday, where temperatures fall into the 40s and 50s. We'll have showers Wednesday and Thursday through much of KOTA territory. We'll notice those temperatures cooling off for everyone going into Thursday as a shower likely through much of the region. And for Rapid City, here's our look at our forecast. Temperatures in the 50s to the 60s on Friday, but Sunday does look to be the warmest day as 67 greets us as we close out the weekend. 65 to begin next week.
It's still not too bad. We're going to get hit with winter pretty hard eventually.
Yeah, it'll come eventually, but those 50s, 60s, kind of what we expect this time of year. But that Sunday, looking pretty nice, 67 and sunny.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you very much, David. Coming up in sports, the Mines soccer team made some history this year and has just a couple of more games left until the RMAC tournament. And the Rapid City Rush has a regular season hockey game this week. Noah Miller has that and more coming up in KOTA Sports.
And now, KOTA Territory Sports, sponsored by your local Ford stores.
Good evening and welcome to KOTA Sports. Professional hockey is right around the corner with the Rush starting their season this week. Although their home opener isn't for a while, we still have you covered on the latest with the Rush. The Rush just wrapped up training camp with their inter-squad scrimmage this past Saturday. Their season is getting ready to start this Friday on the road in Kansas City as they take on the Mavericks. Something about this Rush team feels different. They're coming off a season where they finished one game below 500 and just came up just 2 games short of a playoff spot. First-year head coach Dave Smith has changed something about this team. The players are excited to get going, but from what I've heard from them, Dave Smith might be more excited to get the season going.
Excited is the simple way to put it. Overly excited, super happy. Everyone that's been here that I've met is an amazing person. The coaching staff has done an unbelievable job putting this group together. His passion and his knowledge of the game, and he brings a different bit of excitement each day. Whether it's the way he does video, the way he demonstrates a drill, the way he talks to us on the ice. I think he's just as excited to get the season going as we are, and it's nice to see and it's nice to have.
What's nice to have is a coach with 27 years of coaching experience to help lead this Rush team that was so close to getting into a playoff spot last season. Parker Bowman commented on his coach's ability to get guys bought in and shared why his coach is so good at grabbing players' attention.
I think his attention to detail, he wants a good locker room first. He wants a good culture. You get guys to buy in, and then you can teach them. I think we have guys that are bought in, guys are ready to learn the new systems and ready to attack the season.
The South Dakota Mines men's soccer team has had an amazing season. They have an all-time best record of 6-3-2. Their first-year head coach, Taryn Schuster, has the best record by a Mines soccer coach ever. And Mines is tied with UCCS for the most overall wins in the entire RMAC conference. However, the conference record is what matters when it comes to the standings. Mines picked up their first conference win yesterday and currently sit in 8th place in the RMAC standings despite having a winning record. The RMAC tournament starts sooner than we know it, as Mines only has 6 games left, with 2 of those being at home.
And Noah, they had an especially big win over the weekend, I see.
Yes, they did. They knocked off 11th ranked CSU Pueblo, which is a big win for them.
All right, great to see. Thank you very much, Noah. Well, they call it ridiculous, but there is a reason behind the madness. That's up after the break on KOTA Territory News at 5:30. If you think you saw a flock of ridiculously red runners around Rapid City this morning, you weren't daydreaming. Youth and Family Services Girls Incorporated hosted a ridiculous red run in celebration of 6 years of building powerful girls here in KOTA Territory. Today's 3-kilometer walk run focuses on the strong portion of Girls Inc.'s mission of inspiring all girls to be strong, smart, and bold.
That's one of the concepts that's part of the Girls Incorporated is the healthy lifestyle. And so throughout the year they do various things, just depending on the timing of the year. Sometimes there's some indoor activities, sometimes they do some outdoor activities, just to kind of get everybody out, have them focus on some healthy lifestyle opportunities, being able to just have fun with their friends in a non-competitive manner.
According to a nationwide Girls Inc. survey, 71% of participants exercise for 1 hour at least 3 times a week. For more information or to support the program, go to our website. At least they had a nice sunny morning out there to make it a little warmer.
It was a little crisp. Temperatures in the 30s for many spots. We'll only be in the 40s tomorrow, and we'll warm up into the 50s and 60s through the rest of the week. Showers a little more likely Wednesday and Thursday. Pretty cloudy. Some misty, foggy conditions as well.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you tonight at 10.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News, your local news and weather authority.